for us to start our day, our activity with a word of prayer as we always do. And for this, I would like to call Mrs. Coralie Thomas to lead us in prayer. So please stand.
Let us pray. Kind, loving, and eternal Father, as we come before you this morning, nothing we bring, but with our hands and our heart full of gratitude. We want to thank you for waking us up this morning despite of the weather. We want to thank you for keeping us safe and taking us here safely. We pray and ask for those that are traveling, you'll grant unto them traveling mercy, that they will join us safely. We also pray for those who are viewing online as well, dear God. Father, I pray for every student, every parent, every staff, every community member, every media member who are here with us this morning to broadcast the result of the CXC. Lord, we thank you in advance for what you have done. And we ask that you will give us hearts of receiving, respect, and gratitude. Thank you for everything you have done. Bless the Ministry of Education and our staff that will continue to do our very best in this corner of education. I ask that your mercies will linger within us throughout this process. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. You may have your seat. I know I started off by saying welcome to this event, but to do the official welcome, I will now call on the Chief Education Officer, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise, to officially welcome you. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gist, Permanent Secretary. Thank you for the applause. Honorable Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence, Honorable Alfred, the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Gist, CXC Local Registrar, Ms. Margaret Celestine, Senior Education Officer for Secondary Schools, Ms. Queen Thomas, other senior education officials, other staff of the Ministry of Education, invited guests, principals of secondary schools, teachers of our secondary schools, our students who are here with us this morning, as well as those who are within reach of my voice, the media, and those listening online. Good morning and welcome everybody. Before we proceed, I would like us to just stand so that we can observe a moment of silence for our teachers and students who may have passed during the last period, and I make special reference to Ms. Danica Paul, who was a former at the Convent High School, who passed recently. May the Lord guide and keep us and give us strength and give our family strength during such moments of challenge. It's a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. You may be seated. As indicated by the Permanent Secretary, we once again welcome you here to the release of the CXC examinations for the June 2025 examination cycle. Today we present the results of our CCSLC, CSEC, CVQ, and KIT examinations. The CSEC examination results provide an indication of the efficiency of the education system, both locally and regionally. in my capacity as Chief Education Officer, I guess it's within my role to share with the public the performance of our schools, and more specifically, our students. This year, there has been a slight reduction in the number of students who wrote the exam as compared to previous years. However, our results once again reveal that our students have excelled in most areas, and for that they deserve a round of applause. We have recorded a slight increase in our overall percentage pass over last year, but 1% increase. Additionally, our students have maintained above average performance, and that's above the average of the regional level this year, just as we did last year, and I think to my recollection the year before as well. So we are indeed very proud of our students, and we are proud of them specifically for making Dominica proud. We recognize that over the past 2 years, and more specifically this past year, there has been an increase in SBA submissions. You would have recalled that over the past 2 years, we have used this medium to inform our schools that we were not satisfied with the submission rate. And I am happy to report that our schools have made significant progress in that area, as you will see from the analysis around the This progress has no doubt contributed to the level of success that we have been experiencing in the exams. You would have recalled that maybe last year or the year before I indicated that the SBA itself is one way that students can get an easy pass to excelling, because it's something that you do in your own time, something that you submit. It's not under the rigors of the written examination, and therefore we should maximize that opportunity, and I'm happy that we are doing so right now. Notwithstanding our usual excellent performance, there are areas where we are expected to improve. And as seen with performance across the region, we need to do a bit more work in the area of mathematics. You would have realized again from the analysis, you will see that our performance is comparable to the regional performance. Last year we exceeded the regional performance in mathematics. This year we are just on par with the region in mathematics performance. But the entire region needs to improve in that area. And we have had a number of discussions both at national and regional level on mathematics performance. I must say that as a ministry we have taken significant steps to augment this challenge. We have increased our human resource in numeracy, and we have also redoubled on our training opportunities for teachers, both in maths and science, and our schools would have seen a lot of training in the past year. We will continue to provide the opportunities for our teachers, the professional development opportunities. And we anticipate that soon enough, this will translate to excellent performance in mathematics as well. So I'm hoping in the next year or the next 2 years, I will be here, God willing, to inform the public that we have made strides in mathematics. While we celebrate our CSEC performance, I use this medium to reiterate the importance of students' contribution beyond just the academics, and even beyond our school's formal curriculum. If we are to adequately prepare our students for life, then we must demonstrate to students that their real-life contributions are not only valued, but they are recognized as well. To this end, the Ministry of Education will continue to provide opportunities for students well beyond the immediate classroom environment. We recognize the importance of civics education, volunteerism, community engagement, and many more opportunities for our students. And we advise schools to ensure that those opportunities are provided to learners. By now, you would be well aware of our efforts at education reform. We have started at the primary level, but soon we'll be engaging in significant reform at the secondary level as well. and that's for our System Transformation Grant funded by the Global Partnership for Education. This initiative will focus on curriculum reform, but also it will focus on inclusive education and TVET education. We hope that through the primary and secondary reform, we will be able to transform the education system. I use this medium to thank our many secondary principals, our secondary school teachers, our students, and their parents for not only excellent performance, but their continued collaboration and support with the Ministry of Education. I think good results need a good partnership, and we can see the partnership. I want to also thank all our stakeholders, members of the public, for working with the Ministry of Education, and I want to take this opportunity to also thank the media, because without the media, we would not be able to share good and bad news and our plans and programs as a sector. So I want to thank the media for collaborative efforts, the Ministry of Education. We keenly anticipate another successful academic year, the 2025-2026 academic year. It will be a year of reform, a year of change, and we ask our constituents, our school population, and our stakeholders to continue working steadfastly with the Ministry of Education to ensure that our reform initiatives are successful. I once again want to congratulate all our students, and I want to append a note to our students that CSEC examinations are not the end. They are probably, I wouldn't say that they're the beginning, but they are at a point in your journey where you can celebrate, reflect, and anticipate, and use the opportunity to show that you can make a difference in your life, you can make a difference for your family, and you can make a difference for your country. Notwithstanding your results today, I shouldn't say today because you would have gotten your results a week ago, so notwithstanding your results, please reflect and redouble your efforts at success. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I wish you a pleasant day. Thank you.
About 2 Fridays ago, we had the official CXC regional release of results. That was the official regional release by CXC. Today we're here for Dominica's release of results, our Dominican students. I know we're waiting anxiously to see what our performance is. To do so, I will call on Ms. Celestine, who is still trying to set up the PowerPoint. We had a little technical difficulties earlier. Yeah, so I'll call on Ms. Celestine. Let's welcome Ms. Celestine to give us an analysis of the results. Please note that this is preliminary results.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, PS. Thank you for that note also. A pleasant good morning to everyone. Let me recognize the presence of our Honorable Minister for Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence, Mrs. Octavia Alfred. Our Acting PS in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Robert Gist. Chief Education Officer, Dr. Jeffrey Blaise. SEO Secondary Schools, Ms. Queen Thomas. Other MOE officers, our invited guests, principals and deputies of secondary schools, the staff of secondary schools as well, secondary students present, and if we have any KIP students as well, welcome, the media, Our online participants, good morning everyone. Our presentation will be up shortly, but I can begin with an overview of our exams. As local registrar CXC, it's my duty and responsibility to present the analysis of the 2025 CXC results. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our true COVID-19 impacted cohort. This group of students started secondary school life with face masks in 2020, and they were obliged to participate in virtual learning, a phenomenon which was new to the entire region. Let me publicly thank the Education Trust Fund staff for absorbing the cost of 50% of the CSEC registration fees for 162 candidates at all 14 secondary schools. And this sum totaled $42,860. I'm indeed grateful for your benevolent act every year. Without your financial support, our results would not be as interesting. I am appealing, therefore, to members of the private sector and the public at large to make a greater contribution towards the operations of the Education Trust Fund. I'll begin with an overview of the administration of the 2025 exams. The 2025 exams were administered across 17 centers around the island. 75 persons served as center supervisors, chief invigilators, and invigilators. CSEC exams were completed within 6 weeks, and the CAPE was administered over a 7-week period, while CCSLC was done within 1 week, and CVQ was completed in 1 day. Due to a growing shortage of suitable devices and, in some cases, poor internet connectivity at our centers, only 11 out of the 17 centers were equipped for e-testing of all CSEC, CAPE, and CCSLC multiple choice papers. The Convent High School and the St. Mary's Academy, as well as the Academic School of Learning, continue to lead the way for e-testing in Dominica, while students at the Goodwill Secondary School, which is currently housed at the Newtown Primary School, and students of the Pierre Charles Secondary School got the best experiences online when compared to other schools. There was one cell phone incident in the CSEC exam room this year, and it was a minor issue. All paper 3-2 CAPE and CSEC exams were offered in the hybrid mode. This means that candidates had to log on to a device to view the question paper, and booklets were provided for written responses. This hybrid approach will soon become the norm. So, Madam Minister, there is a call for more compatible devices and better internet service at our schools to facilitate not only teaching and learning throughout the year, but also assessment. There was an increase in absenteeism, mainly because of candidates not feeling adequately prepared and candidates not showing up on the day of the exam due to lack of self-motivation or, in some cases, misinterpretation of the timetable. So if they had an exam in the afternoon, they did not show up, or they had it in the morning and show up in the afternoon, and here they go missing that exam. Candidates faced varying levels of hardships in 2025. We lost one registered candidate at the Northeast Comprehensive School 1 month prior to the start of exams. That was really a blow. In addition, 3 candidates lost their dad, 2 candidates lost their mom, and 1 private candidate lost her husband while preparing for the May-June 2025 exams. CXC continues to support candidates by offering compassionate considerations to those affected. This year, we were able to successfully administer CSEC and CAPE exams to Dominican candidates in other Caribbean territories. I want to publicly thank the local registrars of Anguilla, Antigua, Barbados, British Virgin Islands, and St. Kitts and Nevis, who accommodated our candidates warmly. Not only Dominican candidates benefited from this arrangement, but Cape candidates of Montserrat chose to register with the Academic School of Learning to complete associate degree courses while in Montserrat. I had to make arrangements also for a Bajan athlete who had an exam while on island. Thanks to technological advancement, we can accommodate candidates who reside abroad in the Caribbean region, as well as those who have to migrate for various reasons. As we go through the slides this morning, it's not yet ready. I hope it will connect soon. Please bear in mind that the results are preliminary. And some candidates have already expressed interest in querying their grades. So this means the statistics are subject to change. Also, there are 20 boys of SMA who are still awaiting their physics grade. So our results are incomplete. However, CXC is working closely with me so that we can remedy that situation as quickly as possible. So let's begin with the analysis of the 2025 CAPE results. PS is making magic for me. Did I say 2026? 2025. Okay. All right, good. So this slide, if you click for me, PS, this slide shows our CAPE candidate and subject entries for the period 2021 to 2025. From 2021 to 2024, the number of candidates registering for CAPE has been on a constant rise. For 2025, the total number has dropped slightly, but is consistent with the total for the year 2023. Although the number of candidates was highest in 2024, the subject registration was lower than the 2 previous years, and in 2025, it dropped even further. This is mainly because CAPE offers students the opportunity to either do single units that are relevant for matriculation to pursue their field of study, or an ensemble of 10 units to complete the associate degree in specific fields. Next slide. A total of 144 candidates wrote the CAPE exams in 2025. This comprised of 99 females and 45 males, 6 less candidates than 2024. 2 private institutions submitted a total of 136 candidates with SBA component, and 8 candidates attempted the paper 3-2 as privates. Candidates attempted 10 double unit subjects and 12 single unit subjects, a total of 32 out of 75 units offered by CXC. There were no registrations for the CAPE new generation subjects, such as animation and gaming, digital media, green engineering, financial services studies, and design and technology. This is an area to explore to provide more opportunities for our students at the Dominica State College, the Academic School of Learning, and the Business Training Center. Next slide. 111 or 77% of the candidates passed a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 7 units with acceptable grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This represents a 12% increase in performance when compared to 2024. 33 candidates, or 23%, did not pass any of the units registered for. Last year, 52 candidates were not successful. So this means this year there was a 12% decrease in that number. Dominica's overall performance at the Cape level is 80%, which is below the regional average of 93.2%. However, when compared to 76.22% in 2024, we performed better by 3.78%. Next slide. Although our overall percentage pass is below that of the region, however, we still have reasons to celebrate our Cape performance. Consistent with 2024, we were able to pass 11 units with a 100% pass rate. Next slide. Dominica performed above the regional averages in 14 out of 32 units. Dominica captured first place positions in 11 Cape units when compared with regional performance. PS, next slide, please. We emerged at the top in the region in 2 Cape units. Imagine we outperformed Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent in Literatures in English Unit 2, and we outperformed St. Lucia in Pure Mathematics Unit 2. To prove our competitiveness, we shared first place in the region with other territories in 9 units. Caribbean Studies, we shared that with Montserrat. Chemistry Unit 2 with Belize and Montserrat. Computer Science Unit 2 with Barbados, Montserrat, and Guyana. Electronic Technology Unit 1 with Anguilla and St. Kitts. Entrepreneurship Unit 2 with Antigua, St. Lucia, and St. Martin. Information Technology Unit 1 with Anguilla, Barbados, Montserrat, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia. Information Technology Unit 2 with Anguilla, Antigua, Barbados, Guyana, Montserrat, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and St. Martin. Sociology Unit 1 with Belize and St. Martin, and Tourism Unit 1 with Antigua, Barbados, Montserrat, St. Kitts Nevis, and St. Lucia. We deserve a round of applause. This graph shows that females scored more grade 1s in 2025, and females also dominated the acceptable grades 1 to 5, and unfortunately the failing grades 6 and 7. Grade 5 was the most popular passing score for both males and females. The performance in 10 out of 32 Cape units was affected by absenteeism this year. Management of Business Unit 1 recorded the highest number of absent candidates. Entrepreneurship Unit 1 trailed closely behind. I encourage candidates to turn up for exams. Your absence not only affects you personally, but it has a domino effect on your center and the region by extension. Next slide. The Cape preliminary results show a 3.78% increase in the overall percentage pass of students receiving acceptable grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the 2025 Cape exams when compared to 2024. This is the second highest percentage pass rate over the last 5 years. This slide shows candidates' performance by gender in Communication Studies, which is the advanced level of CSEC English A, Caribbean Studies, which is the advanced level of CSEC Social Studies, and Integrated Mathematics, which is the advanced level of CSEC Mathematics. Males outshine the females in both Communication and Caribbean Studies. Congratulations to our gentlemen. To wrap up our Cape analysis, let's take a look at our performance in Cape subjects that are relevant to local and regional development for the period 2023 to 2025. The business community will benefit from the skills in management of business of the 2025 candidates. There was a drastic improvement in both Units 1 and 2 in 2025 when compared to 2023 and 2024. However, Economics Unit 1 was a bit better than 2024, but there is still much room for improvement. The study of law is a transformative tool to build a more inclusive society. There was a slight reduction in 2025 in Law Unit 1 when compared to 2023, but a remarkable improvement in Law Unit 2 when compared to 2024. Tourism is everybody's business. Candidates maintained a 100% pass rate in Tourism Unit 1. Although Unit 2 was not offered this year, I'm certain that we could easily capture that 100%. Sports and athletics are important to us also. There is even sports tourism. Over the last 2 years, we captured a 100% pass in both physical education and sports units. More IT specialists are required on island in this digital era, and so the 2025 cohort has done exceptionally well in maintaining a 100% pass in Computer Science Unit 2 and Information Technology Unit 2, while doubling efforts in the Unit 1s. We are poised to navigate throughout AI and digital transformation. Generally, candidates do CAPE after secondary school. Last year, Ajanaya Kazimi broke the norm, making history in Dominica and the Caribbean region. This year, 3 candidates showed similar exceptional and commendable prowess. I would like to applaud our valuable parents who provide support to their children every step of the way throughout their educational journey. Parental support is key to a child's success, and thankfully, some parents have grasped that concept very well and play their role. Parents, even if you may not know all of the content, but your physical presence, your words of encouragement, the financial support, the company at night while the child is burning the midnight oil, participation in school activity, all of these count towards your child's success. Parental support was explicitly displayed throughout Kenny Lee Barron's academic journey. In 2017, she outshined the DBS radio reading competitors. In 2020, she excelled at the Grade 6 National Assessment. She started secondary school at the Portsmouth Secondary School and was transferred to the St. John's Academy, which eventually closed its doors in 2023. She completed her secondary education at the Academic School of Learning, which offers both secondary and tertiary educational opportunities. There, she registered for 14 CSEC subjects and 5 CAPE units, a total of 19 CXC subjects. In 2025, she obtained grade 1s in 13 CSEC subjects with 1 grade 2. A grade 1 in CAPE Information Technology Unit 1, and grade 2s in Biology Unit 1, Chemistry Unit 1, Physics Unit 1, and Computer Science Unit 1. Congratulations to the parents, the teachers, and the support group of our 16-year-old star who is joining us online from the United States. Special mention must also be made of Form 4 students who challenged themselves in 2025 with the consent and support of their parents and teachers, and they excelled. Ayani Kazimi, a student of Form 4 at Convent High School, attempted CAPE Law Unit 1 and Unit 2 with the Academic School of Learning, and CAPE Sociology Unit 1 with the Business Training Center, and she scored grades 1, 2, and 3. Excellent work. Dilani Vache, a Form 4 Dominican student now residing in Barbados, sat Pure Mathematics Unit 1 and Physics Unit 1 with the Academic School of Learning and obtained grade 2 in both units. Excellent. So you see, with determination, perseverance, and hard work, our students can achieve much. Congratulations are in order for our CAPE institutions also, and I look forward to greater expansion of your programs as you strive for excellence and provide greater opportunities for our youth. Let's move on now to the analysis of the 2025 CCSLC results. This exam is mainly offered at the Form 3 level and is used as an indicator of candidates' performance after the Grade 6 National Assessment and their projection towards CSEC in Form 5. Next slide. This slide shows our CCSLC candidate and subject entries for the period 2021 to 2025. 2025 recorded the highest number of candidates registered for the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, over the last 5 years. In 2021, although the candidate entries were less than 2025, more candidates were registered for additional CCSLC subjects than in 2025. Next slide. 9 secondary schools submitted candidates for the 2025 CCSLC exams. A total of 715 school candidates wrote the exams, which comprised of 387 males and 328 females. Notice we had more boys than girls. And this figure represents 76 more students than in 2024. We had 20 more males and 56 more females. Exams were done in 7 different subject areas, with schools attempting a minimum of 2 to a maximum of 7 subjects. Overall, the candidates performed well. 486 of those candidates, which represents 68%, obtained either mastery and or competence in the CCSLC exams. 157 candidates, or 22%, obtained only mastery in all subjects attempted. 193 candidates, or 27%, obtained competent only at all subjects attempted. 121 candidates, or 17%, obtained a mix of both mastery and competent at all subjects attempted. 15 candidates, or just 2%, obtained a mix of mastery in some subjects and developing competence in some of the subjects attempted. 93 candidates, or 13%, did not pass any of the subjects attempted. 86 candidates, or 12%, obtained a mix of competent and developing competence at all subjects attempted. And 50 candidates, or 7%, were absent for all subjects registered. This is an area of concern, as the government of Dominica pays the fees for mathematics and English for all students. So I'm calling on the parents for greater support to curb this level of absenteeism. Next slide. This slide shows an improvement in schools' overall percentage pass in the 2025 CCSLC English exam when compared to 2024. Dominica ranked 10th in the region. PS, put that so we can see. 10th in the region. The Arthur Waldron SDA Academy has maintained its 100% pass rates. Arthur Waldron SDA is also the school with the highest percentage of candidates obtaining mastery in English. 82%, or 31 out of 38 students, mastered that English exam. The St. Martin Secondary School submitted 1 candidate who passed English, placing the school also at 100% pass rate. More than half of the students at the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Castlebrook Secondary School, and the Northeast Comprehensive School were able to master the English exam as well. The Dominica Grammar School submitted the highest number of candidates in 2025, and 74 out of 126 candidates obtained mastery at English. Well done. On the next slide, we'll take a look at schools' performance in CCSLC mathematics. Dominica has also ranked 10th in the region for CCSLC math. The Portsmouth Secondary School and the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy maintained their performance of 100% like in 2024, with more than half of their candidates obtaining mastery at mathematics. Castlebrook Secondary School also obtained a 100% pass rate in 2025. 65% of the candidates, or 41 out of 63 at Castlebrook Secondary School, mastered the mathematics exam. This is an improvement when compared to 2024. Again, the Dominica Grammar School submitted the most candidates in 2025, and they moved from 79% in 2024 to 83.5% in 2025. This year, both the Castlebrook Secondary School and the Dominica Grammar School had a 4.5% improvement rate. Excellent. All of the subjects on this slide were administered electronically at all schools. Performance in the modern languages was extraordinary this year. Spanish is the most improved subject, moving from 48.3% to 67.6%. That's an improvement of 19.3%. Bravo. To wrap up the presentation for the CCSLC results, here are the main highlights. The Arthur Waldron SDA Academy has maintained its 100% pass in CCSLC English and Math for 3 consecutive years. Astounding improvement of 9.8% increase for PSS in Math, but they maintained a 100% pass in English. The Isaiah Thomas Secondary School performed better than last year in English, and the Castlebrook Secondary School and the Dominica Grammar School improved by 4.5% in math when compared to 2024. The Castlebrook Secondary School emerged the top school in 2025 for CCSLC French, Digital Literacy, Integrated Science, Social Studies, and Spanish. Castlebrook Secondary School shared first place with the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy and the Portsmouth Secondary School for mathematics. Arthur Waldron SDA Academy and St. Martin Secondary School shared first place for English. 472 students, which represents 66%, have attained mastery or competent levels in the 2025 CCSLC exams. These figures represent 71 less students when compared to 2024. Let's move on now to the 2025 CSEC results. The total number of candidates registered in 2025 dropped by 67 when compared to 2024, but it is slightly higher than the total for 2023. This year, we recorded the least number of subjects for the period 2021 to 2025. 14 secondary schools submitted candidates for CSEC exams. A total of 691 school candidates wrote the exams, which comprised of 343 males and 348 females. 76 students less than last year, when we had 767 students sat the exam. a decrease by 76 candidates, which is 15 males, but an increase of 29 females. We registered 235 private candidates in 2025, 64 males and 171 females. That's 9 more private candidates than 2024. 114 private candidates registered with schools offering SBA, and 121 private candidates attempted the paper 3-2. A total of 926 candidates wrote the CSEC examinations in 32 subject areas in 2025. E-testing was compulsory for paper 2 EDPM and technical drawing. Hybrid mode was used for all paper 3-2 exams, and 9 schools did all of their paper 1 exams online. This year, the number of CSEC subjects affected by absenteeism has increased from 26 to 29. English A, mathematics, principles of business, EDPM, and human and social biology are the top 5 subjects most affected. Let's talk about our school-based assessments, our SBAs. Those determine the quality of candidates' grades. As a matter of fact, no SBA means ungraded. The candidate will not receive a mark. The blue bars on our chart here indicate the schools with 100% SBA submission. So this means that all registered candidates at the Convent High School, the Dominica Community High School, the Wesley High School, the Pierre Charles Secondary, and the Orion Academy submitted an SBA to each of their teachers for all of their subjects. Well done, my children. That's the way to go. The teachers were able to successfully upload each SBA to the ORS before the deadline. Job well done. The St. Mary's Academy and the Castlebrook Secondary School did an awesome job as well. Only one SBA was not uploaded at these 2 schools due to non-submission. The Northeast Comprehensive School, the St. Martin Secondary School, the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, the Portsmouth Secondary School, and the Dominica Grammar School, they made concerted efforts to ensure that at least 90% of the candidates submitted all SBAs, considering the importance of SBAs to the candidate's success. Teachers should continue to encourage students to develop their SBA using Google Docs over the 2-year period to prevent loss of files on flash drives or crashed devices. In spite of the challenges experienced at the Goodwill Secondary School, teachers managed to submit 85% of their SBAs. Candidates registered at our private institutions need to take SBAs a little more seriously. CXC is encouraging group SBA to lessen the workload for both students and teachers. Note that it is to students' advantage to submit an incomplete version of the SBA instead of nothing at all. I look forward to 100% submission of SBAs at all schools in 2026. On August 15, 2025, while presenting the regional results in the Cayman Islands, CXC announced that from 2026 onwards, candidates will be allowed to use artificial intelligence, that's AI, in their SBA. CXC has developed 5 standards that provide guidelines on the use of AI in SBAs that candidates must abide by. Those guidelines are to protect the candidates and to help students, parents, and teachers understand how to reference AI in the SBA. Everyone is therefore encouraged to peruse the AI guidelines. It was on the previous screen at www.cxc.org/AI-policy. The 5 standards Outlined are the ethical use of AI and academic integrity, ensuring data privacy and security, designing and developing assessments, evaluating assessment processes and products, maintaining measurement principles in item generation and assessment development. So students in Form 5 preparing their SBAs for 2026, and those at the CAPE level, please ensure you peruse that document on the CXC's website so you are aware of the guidelines. The preliminary results show a 0.2% increase in the overall percentage pass of students receiving grades 1, 2, and 3 in the 2025 CSEC exams when compared to 2024. This is the best performance for Dominica for the period 2020 to 2025. In terms of Dominica's overall performance at the 2025 CSEC exams, the following are noteworthy. 204 candidates, or 30%, passed 5 or more subjects, including mathematics and English A. That's 3% less than 2024. 376 candidates, or 54%, passed 5 or more subjects with grades 1, 2, or 3 in either mathematics and or English A. That's 7% less than 2024. 142 candidates, or 21%, passed neither mathematics nor English A, but we are 2% better than 2024. 256 candidates, or 37%, passed less than 5 subjects in total with either grades 1, 2, or 3, and that's 7% more than 2024. 43 candidates, or 6%, left school, unfortunately, with 0 subjects. And that represents 30 of our males and 13 females. And we are just 1% better than 2024. In total, 41 students, 13 males and 28 females, from 12 out of our 14 secondary schools and 1 private school obtained 6 or more grade 1s in the 2025 CSEC exams based on the preliminary results. And Minister will let you know who those 41 candidates are shortly. This graph shows that females scored more grade 1s in 2025, and females also dominated the acceptable grades 1, 2, and 3 for CSEC. Males dominated the failing grades 4 and 5, unfortunately. Grade 2 was the most popular passing score for females, whereas grade 3 was the most popular among the males. The table in the next slide indicates candidates' overall performance by subject. In 2023, there were 7 subjects in the bottom row. This year, there are 8. Next slide, please. CSEC subjects earned a perfect score of 100%. Dominica, 5 CSEC subjects, I must say, 5 CSEC subjects earned a perfect score of 100%. Dominica topped the region in agricultural science and home economics. Only 4 territories offered agricultural science double award in 2025, and Portsmouth Secondary School, as well as the Northeast Comprehensive School, showed Jamaica, Guyana, and St. Lucia that our soil is more fertile than theirs. 5 students of the PHR Secondary School sat textile, clothing, and fashion, and the quality of our sewing could not compare with what Antigua, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, and even Barbados produced. Excellent work, my dears. We shared first place with territories in the region for music, PE, physical education and sports, and theater, arts, dance, and drama. We shared first place in music with the British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Grenada, Turks and Caicos. We shared grade 1 first place position in physical education and sports with the British Virgin Islands, Montserrat, St. Lucia, St. Martin, Suriname, and Turks and Caicos. We shared first place position in the region in theater arts with Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Martin. Our students are working. Yes. Hats off to our outstanding schools and teachers for a job well done. So the goal in this table is to eventually clear the bottom row and have all our 32 subjects at the top. Mathematics and French, they remain glued to the under 60% category. The Isaiah Thomas Secondary School introduced additional mathematics for the first time in 2025, a subject predominantly done by the Convent High School, and they captured a grade 1 in the subject. And that grade 1 came from a teacher, Sir Luke. He has nailed CSEC mathematics as a student, Cape Pure Mathematics in 2024, and now CSEC Additional Mathematics in 2025. Bravo, Sir Luke. Brilliance has no age limits. As we take a closer look at our performance in CSEC English A on the next slide, we captured an 85.4% pass, which is slightly above our performance in 2024 and consistent with our 2023 performance. Dominica has performed 5.4% above the regional average in CSEC English A. This table shows the performance of candidates at each of our secondary schools. Dominica ranked 8th in the region for CSEC English A. The first column shows the number of candidates who sat the English A exam at all 14 secondary schools. Note the range in numbers based on the size of the school. The Dominica Grammar School always has the greatest number of candidates, while the Dominica Community High School has the least number. The Convent High School and the Wesley High School have maintained their performance when compared to 2024. 59%, or 41 out of the 69 candidates at the Convent High School, obtained grade 1s. This is outstanding. In 2025, the St. Mary's Academy and the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy have captured 100% pass in English A, with half of the students at SMA obtaining a grade 1. Excellent job. The Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, the Pierre Charles Secondary School, the Dominica Grammar School, the Dominica Community High School, the Portsmouth Secondary School, the Castle Bruce Secondary School, and the Northeast Comprehensive School have improved in performance when compared to 2024. The Dominica Community High School is the most improved school in CSEC English A in 2025. A 31.8% increase in performance rate is recorded for the Dominica Community High School. This is astounding. That's an 11% increase that was also experienced at the Northeast Comprehensive School. So we have 2 schools increasing this year in English A performance. If we observe the first 2 columns with digits, you will notice that 4 or less candidates did not pass English A at the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, just 1. The Orion Academy, just 1. The Pierre Charles Secondary School, only 3. The Dominica Community High School, 2. And the St. Martin Secondary School, only 4. And this is amazing. Hats off to their English departments. When compared to the performance in English in the Caribbean region, 10 out of 14 schools have clearly performed above the regional average of 80% for English A. Our overall performance of 85.4% also surpasses that of the region by 5.4%. For mathematics, this graph shows that our overall performance of 37.7%, is the lowest for the period 2020 to 2025. The regional average is 38.54, so we performed 0.84% below the regional average in mathematics. Let's look at individual schools' performance in maths. We did not rank regionally as we fall below the regional average. However, commendable efforts were made at 6 schools with improved performance in 2025. The Casabro Secondary School, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, the Arthur Waldron SDA Academy, the Dominica Grammar School, the Dominica Community High School, and the Wesley High School. The Casabro Secondary School is the most improved in mathematics. They moved from 22.5% in 2024 to 49.2% in 2025. That's an increase of 27% in overall performance. Way to go, Casabros. These 6 schools have performed above the regional average of 38.54%. The Convent High School, the St. Mary's Academy, the Casabro Secondary, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, the Arthur Waldron SDA, and the Dominica Grammar School. Let me pause here a bit because our performance in mathematics is a growing concern, not just locally, but regionally. The Ministry of Education continues to commit itself in targeted interventions to ensure that we see improvements in our math results. As this phenomenon also affects the region, CXC is also thinking of ways to improve the mathematics statistics. Hence, the Caribbean Examinations Council is offering candidates another opportunity to succeed as of 2026 by introducing CTEC, the Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate. In addition to CSEC, which offers a one-time sit-in after a minimum of 2 years at the end of 4th and 5th form of interaction with the syllabus, CTEC promotes a modular approach for mathematics and English. The CSEC syllabus is divided into 3 modules, just like CAPE, and candidates are given the opportunity to sit 1 module at a time. At the end of each module, candidates will receive a micro-credential with a letter grade A, B, or C. And once all 3 modules are completed, candidates will be awarded a CSEC certificate. This approach will benefit both our advanced learners as well as our slow-paced learners in terms of the quality of the grade. The Ministry of Education continues to explore the logistics and timetabling implications and will engage principals and teachers in further discussion. Next slide. When Dominica's performance is compared to that of the region, we stand tall. This slide shows a few examples, but 24 out of our 32 subjects are above regional average. Dominica has performed overall 3.46% above the regional average in 2025. Dominica ranked first in the region for Agricultural Science Double Award and Textiles, Clothing and Fashion. And Dominica shared first place in the region for music, physical education and sports, and theater, arts, dance, and drama. On the next slide, for the science-related subjects, Agriculture Double Award and Human and Social Biology have maintained their percentage pass rates. Agriculture Double Award emerged the top science subject in 2025. Next slide, please. We see improvements in agricultural science, single award, biology, integrated science, and chemistry when compared to 2024. Integrated science is the most improved science subject in 2025. Unfortunately, our physics results are incomplete at the moment. However, we are already at a pass rate of 83.3%, much less when our 20 SMA boys add to that for us, we will go higher up. I am working closely with CXC to resolve this issue at the soonest. I indulge the patience of our 20 boys affected at SME. Jeremy Roll, a student of Form 4 at Castlebrook Secondary School, submitted CSEC SBA for English A, Math, and HSB and obtained grade 1s in all 3 subjects. That's another good example of success with parental support. For the humanities, on the next slide, when compared to 2024, there was a considerable improvement of 33.3% in the performance of geography, making it the most improved and top-ranking humanities subject in 2025. Only 5 candidates were not successful at geography, although we were low on the grade 1s, so quality need to improve. Improvement was also recorded for Caribbean history. The revised social studies syllabus was tested for the first time in 2025. Although candidates performed better overall last year, social studies and French contributed the most grade 1s for the humanities subjects in 2025. For the technical and vocational subjects on this next slide, performance has improved in textile, clothing and fashion, food, nutrition and health, and industrial tech, electricity when compared to 2024. Technical drawing has maintained its performance. Textile, clothing and fashion is the most improved and top-ranking TVET subject in 2025. Great things are happening at Pierre Charles Secondary School. Food, nutrition and health recorded the most grade 1s in TVET. Only 3 candidates were not successful at food, nutrition and health, and just 2 for electricity. This next chart reveals some interesting statistics about TVET. The diagram shows us that this year, more than half of our boys and girls left secondary school with skills in at least one TVET subject. TVET subjects are offered in 13 out of the 14 secondary schools on island. Girls scored the most grade 1s in TVET in the next slide, in TVET subjects, while the boys captured the majority of grade 2s and 3s in TVET subjects. For the business subjects, we see improvement in principles of business and economics. Principles of business captured the most grade 1s and is the top-ranking business subject in 2025. Economics, though, is the most improved business subject in 2025. In the other subjects category, performance was improved in physical education and sports. Theater arts maintained its performance. This year, students at the Northeast Comprehensive School sat theater arts dance for the first time as a part-time subject, and they scored grade 1s. Hats off to Mrs. Lisa Mills Thomas of Full Circle Performing Arts. Last but not least, our CVQ results. It's a constant success from inception. This year, 4 female candidates were registered for the 2025 CVQ in Garment Production Level 1. Students of the Northeast Comprehensive School joined the Goodwill Secondary School again as they await center approval from CXC auditors. All 4 candidates were deemed competent and they will receive their 2025 Level 1 CVQ certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, let me congratulate again all of our candidates on their outstanding performances at all levels. Our strengths in 2025 are CCSLC French, CSEC Agricultural Science Double Award and Textile, Clothing and Fashion, CAPE Literatures in English Unit 2 and Pure Mathematics Unit 2, our Regional Competitiveness in CSEC and CAPE, and CVQ Garment Production Level 1. Our 2025 challenges are CCSLC Digital Literacy. We would really like to see all schools coming on board. CSEC Mathematics and French, we need to pull up those grades. And CAPE Accounting Unit 2 and History Unit 2, we need to improve there as well. Let me also remind the public that the query period is now open till September 15, 2025. Candidate receipts must be submitted for upload to the ORS for all script reviews, and the fee of $81 must accompany all grade queries. Candidates who received absent or ungraded are queried free of charge upon presentation of the candidate receipts. Registration will open from 4th of September 2025 for the 2026 exam season, and there are 3 distinct deadlines. Registration closes on October 24, 2025 for candidates wishing to write CSEC exams in January 2026. Registration closes on November 28, 2025 for candidates wishing to write CSEC and CAPE exams in May-June 2026. Registration closes on January 15, 2026 for candidates wishing to write CCSLC, CVQ, and GCE A-level exams. The final draft of all CAPE and CSEC SBAs should be submitted no later than the month of March 2026 to your teachers. In addition, the public is reminded that CXC has revised and amended some syllabi. So the syllabus for CSEC Mathematics and CSEC English A and B were revised, and teachers should use the revised version of the syllabus for teaching from this coming September 2025. Math will be piloted in 2026 at no cost to candidates. English will be tested in 2027. And that math pilot, we're talking CTEC, not the CSEC. The syllabus for CAPE Environmental Science has been revised, and it will be tested in 2026. Office Administration, EDPM, and Integrated Science, they were amended. So the Office Administration and EDPM syllabus will be first tested in May-June 2026. Our schools should already be using the revised version. Whereas the Integrated Science syllabus will be first tested in 2027. For access to short courses, training opportunities, and teacher orientation webinars and workshops, you need to go to the CXC Professional Learning Institute at https://pli.cxc.org. Teachers and students need to be sure that they are using the correct syllabus in preparation for exams. Ladies and gentlemen, those viewing online, the public, thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Ms. Celestine, for this detailed report. I think you had everything covered. I think you went to the deepest part of the ocean to make sure that you overturned every single stone that you saw. So let's give Ms. Celestine a round of applause. And also our students, because without our students, we could not have those results. And without the support of the parents, we would not have those results. Because for those listening, I can almost guarantee that all the students who excel, the parents were right there with them. All right, so parents, you need to give yourself a big round of applause. Now, I am just as excited, maybe more excited than the parents, to find out how our students, individual students and schools did. Well, our students, I want to know who are the top performers, who got the 100 ones and so on. Yeah, so to do that, to do the honors, I'll call on the minister to give us some brief remarks and eventually announce the results of the government scholars. Put your hands for.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Ooh, after that, now, you know, but if I say an animal that fly, give the CXC local registrar 2 claps. If the animal does not fly, no clap. Let's go, let's go, let's go for Miss Celestine. Fly, fly. Fly, mosquito. Fly, call. Okay, I was trying to set your mind to receive me. And that's a good game you can play as a teacher when you're doing examples and non-examples in school. I think I left my paper. Point from you. No. That's it. Okay. Let me acknowledge those at the head table. The Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Gis, Chief Education Officer, Dr. Blaise, Local CXC Registrar, Ms. Celestine, the Senior Education Officer for Secondary School, Ms. Thomas, other Ministry of Education officials, principals, teachers, parents, students, the media, good morning. Before I announce the winners, let me just tell you a few things. But now, as an opportunity, you know. This moment marks not just a significant period of end of a period of evaluation, but it's a beginning of a renewed commitment to excellence in education for all our students. Today we celebrate the collective efforts of students and teachers and their families, but these results are not merely numbers on a page, but they are a reflection of hard work, dedication, and passion that have been poured into our education system. Each data tells a story of progress made, challenges faced, because if some of these children who got those ones have to tell you what they have to go through, sometimes you almost want to send welfare, you know. They work. While some people were sleeping, they were toiling in the night. While some people were in places where adults alone were supposed to be bumping up, they were in their book. So it's a lot if they tell you their challenges that they face, some of them. And it really does not mean that some of them had it all made out for them. With internet at home and electricity all the time. And if you meet some of these children, they have their challenges too. So, but they also had the unwavering support of their parents, their principals, their teachers. So I extend heartfelt gratitude to all our educators. And sometimes when we say principals, we forget those others who work with those principals. But it's all Ministry of Education officials included in that effort. You inspire, you challenge, you support our students in ways that extend far beyond the confines of the classroom. Just how some students were not sleeping, some teachers were not sleeping. It is your dedication that transforms potential into achievement. To our students, I say to you, your commitment and perseverance have brought us to this point. Your journey is one of continuous learning, and every experience, every success, every challenge should shape you into the individual you are destined to become. To our parents and guardians, your support is invaluable, and you are the first educator in your children's life. So your involvement has a profound impact on the educational experience your child will have. Today's results are a testament to what we have achieved together, but they also serve as a reminder of the work that lies ahead. We must take these insights and use them to drive our efforts forward. Education is not a static endeavor. It's dynamic. Information change It's always moving. So as we move forward with the education reform process, beginning at the primary level, our focus will remain on several key priorities. We continue to ensure that every student has access to high-quality education, regardless of their background and circumstances. We'll continue to support our educators, and we'll continue to foster innovation, especially by embracing teaching methods and technologies that can enhance learning outcome and engage students in meaningful ways. We'll continue to strengthen community partnership by collaborating with local community people and stakeholders to support our schools and ensure that education remains a shared priority. And we'll also continue to engage our students in skills at the primary level. It will be pre-skills education and offer opportunities for lifelong learning. Because our goal, I don't know what people think about education. I was a very funny principal. My first question was, how many people didn't pass? That was my first question. After everybody jumped up and said, hey, miss, we got this, we got that. My next question is, how many people didn't pass? Because that is also a big question that requires an answer, and an answer that will lead to action. Because our goal is not to just measure success by only the grades we attain, but to continually improve and adapt, ensuring that we give our children a system that serves the needs of all our students and prepare them for a future full of possibilities. The Ministry of Education strongly advocates that each child should leave school with a skill to be able to contribute meaningfully to the economic development of Dominica. We are glad that more students are graduating from government secondary schools with passes in at least one, I see some cases some children had 3 TVET subjects. So we are getting closer to the 100% mark. We commend all these beautiful grades, but our students must master the employability skills. 15 ones and impolite goes not very far at all. 10 ones and not open to correction cannot take you further than down your steps at home. Life skills and psychosocial competencies are needed so that our students can function effectively at the workplace. We have to build the ideal Caribbean person. That is why, like last year, I asked for the names of those who didn't make it with at least 1 or 2 subjects. I will ask again for the names and addresses of these 42 students so that we can try to make contact with them, so that we can enable and empower them with knowledge and skills so that they can make a living. And let me tell you something, that is everybody's business. Because you can have your nice little son and daughter with their nice little 15 ones, and they decide to marry somebody with no nada. Are you laughing? Mother's boys shatter, mother's girls like them, you know. I'm telling you, I was a principal, and then you know as the mom have to spend a lot of time with those grandchildren doing a whole lot of things when you're supposed to be there relaxing. It's not a joke. So this is everybody's business. And seeing that we have the TVET Center nearing completion, it is important for us to find these students, because I'm telling you, the real deal, the real money is in the skills. So while we are glad, the lawyers must come for us to fix their ride, and we'll build them beautiful furniture, and they don't want their furniture looking like anybody else own. We're supposed to be able to give you that among those 42 students that we will be looking for. So because we have created almost 100% universal access in Dominica to early childhood, 100% in primary and secondary and tertiary education. We have provided opportunities for lifelong learning. Dominica is leading a whole lot in education, and we need to appreciate that. Too many times when people are doing well, nobody says nothing. But when things are going wrong, everybody says everything. I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause for what has been going on in education. I will also say that we pay 50% of fees for some students. And I think it's time for us to make parents sign an agreement that if government pays the fees and your child does not show up, you have to sign a paper to say you will refund the money. Because there are too many students who are in need of the help. So instead of paying 50% for somebody and they won't show up, I may as well pay 75% for a child who is dying to write a subject but has difficulty. So we're going to fix that up. So, because in spite of all what we see, all our wonderful grades, we continue to see disregard for authority, lack of love for country and for fellow countrymen. We continue to see increase in disregard for life, human life. There's no harmony, which one? Harmony between man and his environment. AI is coming on us there so fast, and we wonder how far this will take us and how ready are we. We have closed the gap in numeracy and literacy, but we have not learned to embrace each other and our differences. We see men going to the moon and Mars, but we can't walk in our parks at any hour and feel completely safe. This is what education is all about. We stress learner-centeredness in curriculum and teaching and learning for learners to achieve the desired outcome, yet our focus continues to be heavily on assessment. Our success continues to be measured by how well we do on an exam. When we hear some schools name calling, we say, yes. For us, that is where our whole focus is. And even when we are rated as being successful, the workplace is still disappointed. Because we have intelligence on paper, but we lack certain skills. And this is where the reform is going, to make sure you put out there a whole person, a person that can speak. And I was saying to some of the sports people, we have some boys bringing trophy, but if a news reporter put a mic to their mouth, they say, the game was good. Yes, man, the game was good, we play well. And that's as far as they can go. When a captain team just won the trophy, he's supposed to be able to say, more we've done, we play well, we play good. Well, you're laughing, but it's true. So this is what education is about. You put out a whole person outside there. And what we're looking forward to under the reform, I'm wrapping it up, is to make school happy again. Especially in preschool and primary school. Make it happy again. Because in all our enthusiasm, we throw out some things that we should not have thrown out. And this is where we're coming back now in September to the civics and to the rhymes and to the sewing. There are too many people who can't even hem a skirt. There are too many children who cannot even sew on a button. Let's teach us thing. Because if they start learning about fabric, and you can't use that black thread on the white fabric to do. When they move to the secondary school and they start moving into the TVET sewing, there are some things that they know already. No means that. So we're going back to some things. I'm saying to us, all of our challenges that we have, for me, our biggest challenge is still lack of love for one another, lack of respect for human life, and lack of reverence for the Supreme God. That is why we even give you guidelines for the assembly at the primary school. Once upon a time, assembly was a wonderful thing in school. Now children don't want to sing. And sometimes it's not their fault because teachers don't even want to sing either. When we start in our day, our week on Monday, the neighborhood supposed to hear us singing By the Rivers of Babylon or I Am Under the Rock, and you go in your class feeling, yeah. I've done all of it. I've been there and I've done it. Therefore, we should reflect now on how we are going to incorporate education to combat some of our threats. Our students have to master interpersonal relationship skills, communication, creative and critical thinking, negotiation, empathy, problem solving, conflict resolution. Everything can't be about a raise your hand, man. Keep your hands on your feet to yourself and resolve the conflict using your words. Healthy self-management. That is why on Wednesday will be snack day and Friday will be water day. We're drinking too much soda. We're drinking too much soda. And caring for our environment and our fellow man. And I wrap it up because some of us know the result already. You know, it's you that don't know his own, but he knows his result. We will feed the cognitive and we will feed the affective domain under education reform. Let us use this opportunity now as we bash. Let's raise a high commendation for our principals, our CXC registrar, our teachers, our parents, our students, our young people. Too many times bad news, some ugly thing about a young person that going all over the place. Let's see how we can spread some of that good thing about those young people and put your hands together for them again for their performance. Let us try to build global citizens with hearts for humanity. And now, let me tell you what you came there to hear. Wow. Sorry? If I calling them up, if they're there, or I know some people are not here. I know somebody from Casablanca now in Barbados with Youth Jamboree or Carrot Festa. So I know some people are not here. But if you are here, let's do that nice now. When you call them up, I want to see. Okay, wow. Well, you hear them on the stage here? If you're here. And they can all my wonderful time. Okay. Convent High School. If I say your name a little, excuse me, I'm going to do my best to say it properly. Convent High School. Serena Harris, 10 ones. Lisa Coffee, 9 ones. Kamaya Gage, 8 ones. Aniela Birmingham, 7 ones. Gilani Louis, 7 ones. Therese LeBlanc, 6 ones. Kamaya Philip, 6 ones. And Mika Clunes. Why is Mika surname? C-L-U-N-E-S. Clunes. Mika Clunes. Micah Clunes. 6 ones. Dominica Grammar School. Isabella Branca. 6 ones. Jerusha Olivache. 6 ones. Let's go. Portsmouth Secondary School, Randisha Del Sol, 7 ones, Adela Hamilton, 6 ones, Faith Sylvester, 6 ones, Isaiah Larrock, 6 ones, St. Mary's Academy, Joshua Paul, 8 ones, Dylan Regis, 7 ones, Jelani Shillingford, 6 ones. Wesley High School, Giovanna Joseph, 7 ones. Hallelujah. Northeast Comprehensive School, Leon Telemark, 7 ones. Shobana Henry, a special look with Leon man, that is still nearly good. Shobana Henry, 6 ones, and Janet Philip, 6 ones. Alpha Waldron SDA Academy, Kea Roye, 7 ones, Jaim Sylvester, 7 ones. Jai Henry, 6 ones. Shalia Valmont, 6 ones. Maketali Mark, 6 ones. Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, Gideon Bello, Gillian Bello, 8 ones. Fairchild Secondary School, Watson Paquette, 9 ones. Sarita Henry, 7 ones. Woodville Secondary, Giovanni Samuel, 6 ones. Cassibro Secondary School. Anya John Baptist, Anya is not here today, Anya is attending Youth Jamboree in Barbados. Anya John Baptist, 10 ones. Princess George, 9 ones. Rhea St. Louis, 8 ones. Rhea St. Ville, 8 ones. Tatiana Gilbert, 8 ones. Kitara Eustache, 7 ones. Aiden Laville, 6 ones. Iara Balis, 6 ones. That was Cassidy Secondary. Orion Academy, Ajadi Maxwell, 9 ones. Ifan Richard Ed, 7 ones. Remy D. Lawrence, 6 ones. Academic School of Learning, Kenelia S. Baron, 13 ones. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our top performers at the CXC 2025 exam, and they are putting a lot of work. This is just the beginning. The sorry thing is, you don't go and need all those subjects again, so don't bust your head. You have it in your briefcase, and you have it and it's yours. You go to college, you might just need about 3. When you move out from college, you're good to go. You might not need any of it again. But good work, hard work, wonderful. And you look so small, some of you. Put your hands together for them. Yes, we are celebrating our students. So whenever you all are having your celebration dinner, invite me if I can. I'll come. Because they must do it at home too. Amen? So when the 60% used to come and used to quarrel for 30 minutes, no. When is the dinner? You'll tell us, and the Ministry of Education will be right there to support you in enjoying the dinner. God bless you. Jesus loves you and I love you too. Good morning.
Never a dull moment. Thank you, Honorable Alfred.
We have to have photos.
No, stay there. Okay, so we have come to, we're near the end of our program, but just before we go to the Q&A, although Dr. Bless did that at the beginning, but I also want to express the Ministry of Education's heartfelt thanks to all the teachers, all the parents, the principals of the various secondary schools, the staff of the Ministry of Education, the support staff, the media, always with us, GIS, MO, DBS, always with us whenever we call them. The parents. Thank you, because again, like I said, if not for you, your children would not give us all what they're giving us. Okay, so I don't know if you want to do the question and answer while they're at the back there. Yeah, they're young, they can stand still. They can stand, they're young, they're full of energy.
I've had nice things from Miss Celestine. I don't know if you have no much questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you get tired now?
No, they're good,
Okay, so I need 5 minutes of questions now.
Yeah, so we will now open the floor to the media. Any questions that you may have? Emo, Curtis stood first, but Emo News was first.
You mentioned that our recommendation on you for helping the students who, that and how is that going?
Okay, I didn't check yet, but usually some of the higher percentage of the students are boys. When you look for them, some of them are already at work. Some of them are already working. So the plan, some of them are at youth skills, some of them who were not enrolled in youth skills, we get them to go to youth skills. Some of them who are at work, who couldn't attend youth skills, the plan is to do the PLA program and go to their workplace and assess them and give them a national vocational certificate in whatever skill they are performing at their work. And of course, some of them have already migrated. But if we can find them, we will already see where they are, which sometimes we think is a bad place, and it's not. Because if you look for a boy who didn't do well in CXC, and he's already working on a construction site, if you ask me, he's a little more advanced than some people because he's already making his living. So it's mostly to certify them and to ensure that they have a level of something. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning again. My question is about the CAPE exams. In 2016, when I asked a similar question, I was told that very shortly the CAPE would be available to all students in Dominica. Madam Minister or the Chief Education Officer, can you bring us up to date on the position with Dominica and the CAPE exams? My other question, before you go on, I'll just ask a final question. My other question is on the Dominica Grammar School. Recently, it was announced that a sort of investigation will get underway to determine the structural integrity of the Dominica Grammar School. Can you tell us now whether in fact that investigation took place and whether in fact the Dominica Grammar School building will be ready for school very soon?
Okay, let's take.
And my third question. My third question is on education reform. Now, over the last few months, we've heard a lot about education reform. We've attended a few of the consultations that the ministry held. What do we expect to see come September? What are some of the features we'll see at the primary schools so one can determine that education reform is on the way? So we've heard a lot of talk about it. What are some of the features that will come in place early in September? Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take it one by one. The CAPE, I was new person in 2016, I told you what you said. 2016 I was somewhere in a school. However, we are in a conversation on CAPE because it has grown significantly from what it was from 2015.
Yes.
It has grown, we saw the changes. Some of the reasons why we didn't accept CAPE have been eradicated because of our recommendations to CXC. But we find that the options being offered on island are still very limited. However, the government of Dominica has engaged an outside consultant to do an overall review of the Dominica State College. So the results of this review should inform us, or at least guide us, as to whether we want to introduce CAPE at the college, or whether we want to keep it as something separate, or where we would want to keep it. Also, we have the Center of Excellence for TVET coming on, and as you look at some of the nature of some of those subjects, they may well do better in the Center of Excellence for TVET, like the ICT and the, what they call them now, the technology and those, the tourism and some of those. So we'll have to decide what we'll do at State College, what we'll do at the Center of Excellence, and what people will do continue to do privately, as it's a process. So that's where we are so far on the CAPE field. Let's wait for the review. Let us, as the CXC local registrar said, let's encourage people who want to expand their curriculum, because if you're looking to put CAPE under the Island Scholar Program, it would have to be not less than what is now. So we'd have to look at the subjects they offer in, what the past in this subject would be. However, where we are now is not where we were 15 years ago, because now we have embraced CAPE.
That's right.
So that is one. That was the next one. Education reform, what we'll see at the primary school. Man, this morning I should have held that if I knew you were going to ask that question. But the primary school will see 2 new handbooks, which will be giving guidance. The secondary school will also get one of the handbooks, because community service was never a graduation criteria. So we have a special handbook on community service, and every school child in Dominica will do community service. So by the time the children reach 5th form from 1st form, there's no hustling with a piece of paper in your hand, going to sweep a bus stop, and somebody signing it for you. No. Because what has happened is that the community service has lost what it's supposed to be, because we are not using it well. So community service will be done. There's a required amount of hours for each grade, which will be in the handbook. We give suggestions on different projects you can engage in at different levels, but you see your hours and you have the entire school year to cover your hours. So for example, grade K might just have to do 1 hour per term, and that's nothing for our grade K to do. Suggested service, everybody draw a card, and if you can't bring an item, and we are going to see our cultural elder who lives over there. And they go over there, they sing songs to her, she tells them stories about how the village was before, and they have pictures taken with her, and they give her all her nice cards and her little package. 1 hour done for grade K, that will kill our children, and what that will teach our children is more than you will achieve in a 30-minute lesson on caring for the elderly and appreciating them. So we will see that. In the other book, which will be specially for primary schools alone, we'll have information on conducting assembly, on clubs, on the school savings union to teach children financial management. We also have different days, water day, fruit day. We have in that the health team is expected to visit schools periodically. Our policemen also in the community dress up in their uniform and come just visit the children. So if I knew that was going to come, I'd hold the book. So some of it they are not new things, but they are things that we are supposed to be doing, but we stop doing them, and that's why we have our children with some attitude now. So we go back. We also will be seeing the civics curriculum will be at all primary schools as part of the reform, and all primary schools will be following a standardized timetable. In other words, we do for the purpose of which is to ensure that the core subjects are done before lunch, and after lunch is for the light skill subjects. So after lunch, by the end of the school year, there's nobody who should have a child in grade 2, and you cannot give me a rhyme. Some schools don't say rhymes anymore, they don't draw anymore, so the afternoon sessions will be used for that. If an officer comes to your school on Monday morning and the timetable says mathematics, no matter which village I go to, in which primary school, mathematics is supposed to be taught. In addition to all this, we have other things that will be taking place where the schools, instead of giving them the supplies for school feeding, they receive the funds and they'll do their own shopping. We are also going to take the school nutrition policy to cabinet for approval, which means that those schools that are selling soda must stop. When I was the principal, I tried to stop. You know what? Those parents used to give those training when they go to the shop and come in their soda away. But we cannot be fighting as if we're fighting with air. If the rule is we're not selling any soda at the secondary school, let's see if we can get the fruits and give them fruit juice. Even when you fix it for them with a cover of the glass and a straw, some of them still. So there are some things that we will not be able to sell in school. Those sweetie shops we have in school raising funds, we have to close them. Some of our children will die at 23 with their 10 ones because of hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease. We cannot continue so. And also, we'll continue to look at what the menu for the school feeding is, what the children having at school. Let's make sure it's good stuff. We're bringing back fruit day on Wednesday. Encourage the children to come with their fruit. So some of these things are what we'll be seeing. We will have an assessment for grade 6, but it will be different from what we have there now. We'll get more information on that later on. So these are some of the things that we're expecting to see. Not completely new things, but things that will touch the affective domain of our students and help them with other skills instead of good composition, but you can also speak well. The VPA showcase day will be in the handbook too. VPA showcase day at primary school has become jeans day for the school to collect $1. And when children dress in jeans, there are some things you just cannot do with them. It's changing their mode. So the jeans that you see now was actually a VPA showcase day on the last Thursday or last Friday of the month, where all the classes come together and we have a big concert. And you can use a grade 5 or grade 6 student to be the MC. That person could become a big MC at the Carnival Queen Show 10 years from now. And ladies and gentlemen, right about now we'll have a poem from grade K. And the children clap and the grade K children come well dressed up and they say their poem about the fox and the whatever it is. So I'm thinking that teachers are bought in, the parents are excited, principals are excited, all in the effort to bring back some fun to school and to build in our students psychosocial competency skills, love for country, and all of that. We good? I don't know if Chief wants to say things. No?
Just while you're on reform, excellent presentation by the Honorable Minister. Because she's pretty comprehensive. Just one added component is that we listened to the feedback from our stakeholders with reference to our curriculum text. I know a number of persons were lamenting on the fact that there is so much variance in terms of what happens from school to school on the book list. And we started that process a couple of years ago. Actually, in the lower primary level, we sought to align the text and reduce the number of texts that the students would have from K to 3. We have gone a step further with reform. So come September, we are looking at having some of the text reside within the school. You would have realized, some of you, when you look back at school, years gone by, the teacher would take a whole set of readers of text from the cupboards, right, and distribute them, and the students would interact with the text, and then they would be returned to the cupboards. Some of the text that the students are going to be using, bearing in mind that a lot of the texts are subsidized by the state, those texts will reside at the school, except for the workbooks that students will go home with, and some readers, some of the student texts on some occasions. But predominantly, we will try to keep some of these texts at the school for various reasons, obviously, because they're used mainly at the school, and we want to sort of limit the number of texts that the students go home with the backpacks, as parents always indicate. We cannot get rid of the text. We did the text because students did the text for learning, but we will significantly reduce them and also keep some of them at the school, so it will limit the amount that students go home. Thank you for that, Madam Minister.
Okay, the Dominica Grammar School, the investigation was done. We had asked that they would give us the report in 2 phases. The phases with the classroom and the phases with the phase with the auditorium. Just to say that the auditorium is an independent building. It's not attached to any of the teaching areas. It's not in the way of the classrooms. It's an area, if you block it off, it doesn't affect the teaching and learning. The areas that we used before, the only work that they had to do there was to redo the rooms, redo the labs, paint over so that it can be at same level, same look with the new area. So we will be ready for September. As a matter of fact, there's a big visit, a last walkthrough with the Prime Minister and the Minister, the principal and members' parents on Wednesday morning, so that we can ensure that everything is ready. We have new furniture that we have placed there. We ordered some more furniture, and where our students will be using will be safe, because that is our top priority. I don't know if the PS want to add anything, because he's been going there almost every day. Go ahead.
I think the minister covered everything. But from September, the students will return to school and they will be occupying blocks A, B, and C. Block A is the existing block, what they used before. Block B is the technical block. So when you look at grammar school before the new wing, you would see block A and B. Block B is in the car park area. Block C is actually the new wing, the part along the Riverbank Road. This is the new block. We have been doing regular site visits to the school. While from the outside it may appear that it is not ready, but all the classrooms are painted. Up to last week, the plumbing works were ongoing. It should be completed by the end of this week. If it had not been completed last week, again we have purchased new furniture to go along with the existing furniture that is there. Also ordered some more furniture that will be on its way. The courtyard will be paved. So even when the students come in, even though the total work is not 100% complete, but while the students are there, the works that will be ongoing will be minor. But the bottom line is that the school will be ready to accept all of our students in September. School is expected to open on September 8th, and we're expecting that our students will be at the school on September 8th. Even though the first week means orientation, but it will mean orientation for the students. So we don't expect teaching during that first week, but our students will be ready. And again, as Minister said, we have an official walkthrough on Wednesday morning. Well, the time will be confirmed, but yeah. So we would like to invite GIS, DBS, the government, the state will be there. You're invited to.
What happens to Goodwill Secondary School?
Yes, Goodwill Secondary School will continue to operate at the Newton Primary School in the territory.
Okay, then for the picture. It's so long while they're standing there. Wrap it up.
So yes, we just wrap up, yes. So again, thank you everybody. I said not everybody. But thanks again everybody. And we look forward to a successful school year.
Okay.